just finished typing up my handwritten notes into my computer and just kind of adding more. And I think it went well, but I did a lot of fact checking as I was going back through, and I forgot how bad at history I am. I had written that in 1866, one of my characters was picked up in a Ford vehicle because I thought that's when they came out. They didn't come out then. So a lot of research today. I wrote about 1,000 words so far, and I have a lot left to do. But doing good. Also, my beer was really good. Thank you for asking. Let's get going. Oh, and I also had her, I had like a disposable camera in 1966, and they were not invented yet, so I'm really bad with history. But that's what the internet's for. Not much of an update for today, except I mentioned I did a lot of writing yesterday. I think I did, and it was a struggle. So I had class today, and our final draft of, well, sorry, our first draft of our final project is due tomorrow at midnight, so get ready for that funness.
What are you doing? You have a perm.
Zach just learned the word perm today.
I didn't learn it.
Okay, viewer question. Would someone, I feel like this is like the scrunchy episode of Sex and the City. Would someone have worn a perm in 1994? Or would they have been on their way out? And keep in mind, this is in Boston, not in New York, where it's fashion forward all the time. It's Boston, and we're at least 10 years behind at any given point.
10 years.
I mean, we're still wearing Uggs and leggings, and it's 2018.
It's true. Look at Tom Brady. Pass those Uggs around.
He has Uggs?
Yeah, he wears Uggs all the time.
He does?
Yeah.
Why? That's weird. Okay. Well, anyway. So let me know down below, because I had, one of my critique partners said that that was a dated thing, and that would have been in the 80s, not 1994. But I disagree. Yeah, she's gonna be like, Haley, I heard you talking smack about me on your YouTube channel. I don't think they know about my channel. We'll see. But yes, let me know. The only thing that has me hesitating is I think she was around then. Like, she's a little older than me. She's middle-aged. Or, no. I would peg her maybe her late 30s, early 40s. So she might actually know better. But I'll put out a field question. Let me know what you think. Because I've seen Sex and the City, and I know Carrie Bradshaw had a perm first season, and I think it was 1998. So you can't tell me Carrie Bradshaw is behind with the times. My hair is a mess, which can only mean one thing. It's right in time. Today is the day. Tuesday the 24th. Help. So I have to do an analysis paper, 5 to 6 page paper, which I've already done 4 of. I'm a little bit into 4, so really I have to do like 2 more pages, which is double spaced, so it's not that big a deal. But then I have to finish my creative work. And then I have to write a 1 to 2 page statement, is that correct? Yes, explaining what I did that was similar to my model text, essentially. So that is what I'm in for tonight. So it's gonna be a late night as soon as I'm out lay-ins. Shoop. There's been something I've been meaning to talk about in these videos, and as I lie in bed at night, I think of it and I think, oh, tomorrow I'll be sure to mention it, I'll remember. And then I never remember, and it's happened twice now, and it's driving me crazy. But I had something I wanted to talk about, and I think it had to do with characters, but I had no idea what it was about. So that's what I have to add today. I really can't think of what it is. Oh my god, it's gonna drive me insane. Oh, but I think I know the direction I'm going to take my story, so I wonder how many times I can say this in these videos. So chapter 1. I am working on a new beginning, and I do really like it. I don't know if it's any good, but I do really like it, and I've been wanting to combine the chapter I have right now and sort of mingle it in with my new chapter. And I finally figured out a scene I can maneuver that should work good enough. Like, I think it will be a good mingle. But yeah, a lot of work tonight. It is already kind of late. It is 11:30 because I put things off, and I do better writing when nobody's awake, which is not good for a work-life balance, but I do. And I just have to finish it before I go to bed. So thank God I work from home tomorrow, because then I don't have to get up super early. But I still have to wake up eventually. Alright, let's get going. Oh, and I signed up. I keep going out of focus. I signed up for my fall class, and I'm so excited. Oh, I thought I saw something behind me. That's my biggest fear with this camera. I signed up for my fall class, and it's called Writing the Novel Middle Grade Young Adult. So writing a middle grade / young adult novel, and I'm super excited for that. So that's what I'm doing in the fall, and then still hopefully by the end of the fall I can start querying maybe. Is that crazy? It's a little crazy. It's happening so fast. It's already the end of July. Like, August is next month, and that's month number 8, right? So 8 feels really close to 12. I only have 1 week from today left of being 25, and then I'm gonna be 26. Which doesn't feel that different, other than the fact that I'm closer to 30 than I was to 20. But that's life, baby doll. That was weird. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, time to get going. My favorite part of tea is picking out what mug I want. Which one should I do? Also, this is random, but my mom is coming to visit this weekend, and she hates hazelnut, and all I've been craving is hazelnut coffee. So Zach was so sweet and got her this so she won't be starved. It's almost my birthday. Can you tell I'm stalling? Hurry up, T. Go faster. Please. Okay, I think I remembered what I wanted to say. So, I sent a draft of my story to my peer group, and one of my members of my peer group was able to get back to me just with what I had so far. And one of the things I really love about this member of my peer group is that she is so good at picking apart what still needs to be answered. So for example, she would highlight things that were left either mysterious or open-ended or needed clarification. So sometimes I didn't clarify because that was all part of the unraveling experience, which is something I'll explain to her later, because obviously she's only reading chapter 1, so she won't get the whole thing. But I just really liked having it marked up so that I know that I can tie up any loose ends. I feel like having a critique partner that can do that for you, because it's so hard to see it yourself. Like, you don't realize what you're leaving open-ended because you know it all, and so it can be hard to remember to go and close it back up. So having that fresh pair of eyes that can tell you what's left open-ended, what needs to be either answered or explained later in the story, was really, really valuable. And I like want her to do my whole story so that I can have like all of these fantastic like little markups just of what to keep in mind to clarify and to answer. That, I think that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so okay, back to it. I finished part 1, so I have 2 things left to do tonight. Now I'm going to bed. Good morning, folks. I'm in the same position I was in last night. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee because I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night. Or this morning, actually, I could say. You know you're in trouble when the birds start to chirp as you're going to bed. So I finished. I have no idea if it's garbage or not. Like, okay, I have a little confession to make. So I feel I do usually do some of my best writing late at night when my, what's the word? Shit, I'm too tired. Defenses are down. Is that the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not inebriations. I'm so tired. What was I even saying? Oh, I usually do my best work late at night when everything is quiet, nobody's up, and my defenses are down. Or I think I'm doing the best work and it's garbage. And it's like 50-50 chance of that happening. I did my last homework assignment really late at night. I was super exhausted and I proofread it, but when you're tired and you're proofreading, everything starts to kind of like blend, you know, and you realize you're not really taking what you're reading. And I was like, crap, well, I have to turn this in. Yeah, I know. I'm not like the best student in that way. Okay, I get it. I don't need to hear it. But the next morning, I like didn't even dare to read it, like didn't want to look at it, but I got a really good grade on it. She loved it, and so that worked out okay, and hopefully that happened again with this, but we'll see. Before I get judged too harshly, it was just the draft we were turning in, so technically this isn't going to be graded. It's just like we send it to her and she gives comments and feedback and then sends us back those, and then we can send her the final draft, which I kind of love. Like, I feel like teachers, I don't know, like teachers encourage you to do drafts and things like that, but just having the chance for her to look it over and tell you what you should change about it and giving you that opportunity to change it and make it better, and then just doing better in the class in total is way more valuable in my opinion than just having an assignment, writing an essay, turning it in, and then getting that feedback afterwards. And then it's like you don't really go back in and fix it once you've gotten the feedback. If you don't have to turn it in again, you just have your grade and you're like either, oh great, or that sucks. Does that make sense? I feel like I am learning more from this because not only am I getting the feedback, but I'm learning how to fix it and how to edit, and that's such an important part of writing. So it's not just about writing essays, but just writing in general, like learning how to take feedback and then taking it a step further and actually fixing the problem instead of just seeing what you did wrong and putting it away in a folder somewhere. So I like that. I like that she does that, and it's really kind on her end because that's a lot of extra work she has to go through, which I don't even know how my teacher does this. So my class has 15 students and we each turned in, so between our essay, our creative piece, and then our statement comparing our essay and creative piece basically. Mine was 22 pages, and I think everyone's will be roughly around that same size, and she has to grade all of those and give constructive notes. And I don't think she's doing it before class today because that would be absolutely insane, but who knows. And like, so like, let's do the math really quick. I'm too tired to do it in my head. 15 times 22. 330 pages. So not only does she have to read 330 pages of work, she has to critique 330 pages of work within a few days. Like, there's no way she can do it before today. That would be insane. But she has to do it before our assignments are due and give us time to do it. So I would say she would probably finish. She's probably gonna finish before the weekend to give us time to fix it before our Monday class. That's insane. That's insane. And even if this is her full-time job, which it's not, she does other things as well. Holy crap. I will never complain about having to edit 10 pages again. I have mad respect for her. So yeah, she's doing double the work because she easily could have not had us turn in drafts to edit as well, but she's choosing to do that, so she's gonna have to read these 330 pages twice and critique them. So that's 660-ish pages by August 5th, or by August 10th, I guess, technically, because our assignment's due August 5th and she has until the 10th, I think. I don't know. There's not much to this video other than mad appreciation to my teacher. I'll give a shout out to who she is because that's not private information. So if you want to check her out, she has a website. Her name's Elizabeth Sharp McKetta. She writes poetry and biographies, though she wants to get into fiction, she's mentioned, and she is looking to be agented. So she is going through that experience as well as us. She's been published and she has a lot of published books, but she's never actually had an agent. She's just kind of bypassed that, but she's looking to have an agent now, especially since she's going into fictional novels. But she does have editing services on her website if you're looking to check an editor out. She is a phenomenal editor. I am so incredibly blessed to have her as an editor technically now for free. Well, I guess whatever I paid for the class. So very little. And she not only gives like great like grammatical edits, but she gives like structure edits. Her PhD thesis was on fairy tales. It was more than just that, but I forget. So yeah, shout out to my amazing professor, Dr. McKetta. Okay, now I must get back to work and finish this third cup of coffee. I think after the second cup, the caffeine's hitting a little bit. Thank God, because I'm so tired. I do this to myself. And I'm gonna do it again next fall, and I'm gonna keep doing it, hopefully, because I love this. And I don't know how much I talked about what I wrote last night for my creative work, so let's talk about the creativity a bit. I like the direction it took. I'm a little worried that I have too many characters. So instead of just starting my chapter 1 abruptly, like throwing you into the action of it, I'm opening it more slowly to introduce one of the main characters, Anastasia. And in order to do that, I'm showing like glimpses of her life and like experience and like just moments that she's had, and each moment is, yeah, an interaction with somebody else. And so it's a lot of minor characters that really don't make an appearance again, and I'm worried that it's too many, like it's too much, and I'm worried that the reader is gonna wonder like, is this character important, is this character not important? I try not to name them when that happens because I don't want there to be confusion about who the major and minor characters are. It's hard. I mean, my story is about humanity, and so one of the things I do want is to have a lot of people and to show like that we're all connected, and that, you know, really there is no minor character in life. Like everyone is the hero of their own story, so to speak. And so I don't want to like eliminate useless characters, because I want that to reflect in life how we do have so much interaction with people every day, and like how every person has their own story and blah blah blah. But I just don't want it to actually be confusing. And one of my peer review people did say like I had a minor character and I'd given them a name. Oops, that's not my story. I don't know where it is. I'd given them a name and everything, and they were like, wait, who is this? Is like, how old is he? What's his story? What's he look like? And I didn't want to give those details because he's not a major character, and I didn't want you, the reader, to worry about memorizing them. Because I've had that happen to me. I don't know how many of you or who's read The Stand by Stephen King. I don't even think they published the edited version anymore. I think you can only get the unedited version now, which is over 1,000 pages. It's so long, and there are so many characters. Like I don't think I have it with me. And I hope I didn't throw it out, even though it was starting to get ratty. I had pieces of paper in my book, so I had a bunch of bookmarks that were made out of paper, and I wrote on them every time a character made an appearance and like a little description of them. Because if you've read The Stand, the unedited version, there are so many characters, so many, and sometimes they're a main character and sometimes they're a side character and they die right away, and you don't realize that they're not going to continue in the story. And it's so confusing at first, you know, it takes a little bit to get into the rhythm of it. And so I had to keep a guide. Like, I kept a guide to describe certain people because there's so many different point of views. There were so many characters. But I also liked that because The Stand by Stephen King is, in a way, a book about human race as well, and, you know, good and evil, and like a classic story that way, which my story I want to be too. And I really liked how he did that, and so I think that that's been subconsciously like inspiring me, and like that's kind of how I want to structure my story too. But I don't want readers to have to make a spreadsheet just to get through my book, you know? So I'm trying to think of like cues that I can give to show, like, you know, everybody's important, but if you don't remember this character's name, it's okay because they're not going to show up again. But I want to give them a name too sometimes. I don't know. I'm undecided. Mostly I'm going for length, like if a character's only been in a scene, like if they only have a couple paragraphs they're mentioned in, that's a character you shouldn't worry about. Hopefully it's obvious. I don't know. I would do like kind of a Game of Thrones style, Breaking Dawn style, like glossary in the back that says like who the main characters are, if they're a guardian or not, but I'm afraid that will be a spoiler sometimes. I guess it wouldn't be a spoiler if I just said if they were guardian. I don't know. I could do like, I think Game of Thrones, they say like this is how it is in the beginning of the book, so like it doesn't, I've said too much. Okay, I have to go back to work now. Lots to do, lots of interviews at my work right now, so I've been like helping schedule all those. And just, can I just complain about a work problem really quick? There is this meeting that I've been trying to schedule between a group of higher ups, the directors. So yes, they're very, very busy, and I've been working with their assistants for 6 months. 6 months we've been trying to just find a date, and nobody is giving any give. Like no one's saying, oh, I can come this day. And you know, my boss really wants everyone to go, and so I am like, I thought we had it yesterday, and then I got an email and didn't work out, and I am just like, I love my job, but this has been the only thing that's made me feel dead inside. Because just keeps happening. Like it works for everyone but one person. I know, office life problems. And before you say, yes, I do the doodle polls, I do everything, I check everyone's calendar and I think it looks good, and then some people don't use their calendars as completely. Sorry, when I'm tired, I have a hard time having the right words come to my mind anyway. I know words, and when I read words I understand them, but I have a hard time recalling them. When I'm tired, forget it. Like I have to make sure to use maybe 5-letter max words because everything goes out the window. Okay, I talked too long. Goodbye. So I'm technically still in class. We're just taking a break to write a prompt, and I already finished mine. But I just wanted to talk really quickly about my classmates right now. So this is our last, no, next week is our last week of class, but this is our last week of lessons, because next week we're presenting our final work. And the common consensus between everyone, so we handed in our creative work, and the common consensus is that we almost, as writers now, who's gone through this intensive summer course, we feel almost less confident in our writing because we've learned from so many greats, and we've learned so many fantastic strategies, and it's like all of a sudden, you know, we're going through this growth period where we just feel uncomfortable, and we're analyzing things in a way we never had before. And you know, one girl in my class said that she almost feels like a worse writer. She almost feels like this is her worst piece, but I have to disagree. I bet it's still probably her best piece, but she's just seeing it in a critical way for the first time. And I think the ability to see what's wrong with your work and others is what's gonna make you even better. So I don't know, I just wanted to share that really quick. And then also, maybe I'll talk about this too after the class is over, but I'm gonna be really tired by then. I can tell I'm already exhausted. It's only 7 o'clock. But someone in my class, we were talking about our discomfort with our drafts, and she shared what author she said the author's name, Sean Platt, said about drafts. And I feel like this has been said in many different ways, but I just really like the conciseness of this. Draft 1, say it. Draft 2, say what you mean. Draft 3, say it well. And I think that's a really great way to find the balance of not overthinking technique and strategy and plotting and all those elements, and just making sure you just put your heart and soul into it first and then make it better. And I think that order is really important, because it's so hard to just use strategy, technique, plot points, etc., you know, the literary side of it, and then put your heart and soul into it after, because it won't have the same impact. So I've kind of, my story has like flipped on all sides of that spectrum, and I think it's finally reaching a place of balance with my revisions, which is exciting but also terrifying, because like a girl in my class said, another girl, I'm reading it and I feel like it's almost worse because I see everything wrong with it. But I think in general that's a good thing that I'm seeing that, and I think it's just going to make it that much stronger. Okay, class is gonna start back up now. So I just wanted to share that with you while it was fresh on my mind, because I thought everyone had really great points, and I just feel like collectively as a whole, I mean, this class was 7 weeks long, and it was intense, but it was so fantastic, and I just know that these classes are gonna make me so much better in ways I didn't even know I needed to be better. So there are 3 things I am absolutely petrified to do: read out loud, talk about my writing, and share my writing. And I'm about to do all 3 of these things in half an hour. And I can't think of anything less fun. It is presentation day. It is Monday. I know, sorry, this video is like over a week long, but I have to give a presentation involving reading what I've written creatively and talking about why I wrote that way. And I hate reading out loud in general, so reading my own work is making it even worse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just wanted to share my misery with you guys, that I am like impressed I'm holding this camera steady, because I have been shaky and nauseous and just not looking forward to this all day. But I signed up to do it today instead of Wednesday because my birthday is tomorrow, and I didn't want to be anxious on my birthday about this. I want to just be done with it. I think everyone's going to be really nice. I just hope that I can talk the full 10 minutes, because I tend to talk too fast and say my ideas too fast and end presentations really lamely, especially when it involves my own work. Oh my god. Guess this is good practice for real life book talks. Yeah, I really don't want to do this. I'm still out of focus. I won't focus. Too focused. So we just finished, and I feel mentally exhausted. I don't know if I presented it well. I probably talked way too fast, and so I'm very sorry to all my classmates. But people apparently liked it. People said that it was good and interesting and all that nice stuff. Here, I'll read what people said so I can get an ego boost when I edit this. Someone quoted one of the words, or one of the sentences I said, and said they love that line. We read these out loud, mind you, so the fact that she memorized the line I said just from speaking it was very warming. Someone said good work. Someone else said nice visual description. Love the description of the piano being immortal. Very cool connection. Nice job, great work. Fantastic characterization and world building. Even in that short excerpt, I feel like we got a great sense of your world. I love the story so much. Good job. You really have such a special story. I love this genre. I love the description of how immortally beloved Beethoven is. Great job, Haley. It would make sense if you read it. So it always feels nice to be praised, especially if you're feeling very insecure about it. The sad thing is, I know my intro is better than the one that I originally had, so I just think it still has some kinks to work out, but the difference is insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. And one of the key things that I did with this revision, I hope you can hear me with the fan, is that each sentence means something. You know, in my first draft I just focused on getting the story out there, but in this draft it really was about like putting meaning behind every one of my words, which is really what this class was all about. And I think I definitely did that, so that was really cool. It's kind of exciting to share your work. It's terrifying, but when you hear good things about it, it's exciting. And I will say it was hard a little bit, even though I'm used to criticism. You know, I worked as a journalist and my papers got edited constantly. It's so different when it's creative work though, because it's like, it's your insides, like it's your soul writing. It's different than just saying a news story and like, oh, fix this grammar point and do this. Like, it is so different, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought like, oh, I'll have the criticism down packed, but it was a little hard. And that's something I haven't talked about yet. Like, I turned in my creative work on the 24th, it's the 30th today, and so I've gotten feedback from my peer group about it, and you know, just like edits, and it was hard having like a lot of things questioned and suggested different, because you always want to be like, put the work out there and just someone's like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece, you don't even need to touch it, it's perfect, like go submit it to an agent today. And obviously that's not the case. I think it's Judy Blume says like how bad her first drafts always are. Like, she says she's not a writer, she's a rewriter, and I totally get that now. Okay, so I am still just waiting. I am having a final conference with my teacher. I'm really nervous. I have no idea what she's gonna say, just as far as what she wants to talk about. She always asks me these questions and I feel like I give really lame answers. Like, she asks like why I made certain choices, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I just have to share this really quick because I don't think she'll watch this, my professor. But it was one of those things, we were talking about our reading afterwards, and she mentioned like this note of symbolism in my story, and it was one of those instances where I was like, yeah, I totally meant to do that. And it's like, sure. So I had one of those experiences as a writer of people analyzing my work on a level way above I meant it to be. So maybe I'm just secretly a genius and I don't know it yet, or maybe I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, I will be back and let you guys have a wrap up. That didn't make any sense. I'm still jumbled. I'm still nervous and shaky. Okay, bye. Okie dokie. Uh-oh, I just realized I don't think I'm reading any new books when I close this out. Am I reading any new book stack?
You read? No, I haven't.
I have to close out my thing. Have you watched any of my new videos?
Yes.
What's the last one you watched?
The one you put up the other day, the weekend one?
What was it? What did I talk about in it?
You mentioned my joke about how, oh, you're filming? Stop. You mentioned my joke about how you were complaining about writing, and I was like, well, don't do it. And you're like, he's so funny. But you said it very deadpan. So.
Was that my last video? I don't even know.
I think so. It's the last one I watched.
My family does not support me in my career.
Yep.
So.
That is the last video.
Did you like it?
Yes.
No, you didn't. I'm watching you like it right now.
17. 17
Okay.
is already a blue thumb.
Woohoo! Alright, I'm going to talk to myself now. Goodbye to you too. I'm gonna say goodbye.
Bye.
I feel like my lovely viewers haven't gotten a glimpse at you in so long. I had to show you.
Please, you got me.
My new viewers don't even know who you are. Who are you? What is your ambition in life?
I hope they can tell me.
Zach filling out or taking suggestions now. Leave your this week's question is, what should Zach do with his life? Leave it in a comment below. Okay, so this week was crazy. I have no idea how much I picked up the camera here. I'll show it so Zach's in the background so we can watch him pick his nose. I was very overstretched this week. What did I do this week? Or last week? I don't even know.
Just classwork.
Yeah, I had my final paper due Tuesday, and then, oh, right. Then for the rest of the week, I had to edit everyone else's papers. And of course I left that to the weekend. So that's what I did all Saturday and Sunday morning. So that was like 60 something pages of editing. It was crazy. But everyone's work is really good. And then yesterday my mama came, and I don't think I filmed, but we went shopping and I got some new clothes. Woo! Oh, showed too much. Okay. And now I am celebrating my last 2.5 hours of being 25. What do you think, Zach? You're gonna be with an older woman.
I know, it's gonna be weird. It's just like last year.
Clever. I feel like this week was, it just feels like a finals week would feel. And so I feel very drained and not like I can input a lot of important and meaningful words, but hopefully somewhere in this video you got some of that, because I don't have much left. Zach, say something meaningful.
Happy birthday.
No. Whatever. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. So, okay. So what am I reading this week that's different? I think
All the papers you were looking at? Does that count?
it's gonna have to count, because I think I've mentioned everything I'm reading, because I didn't get much time for reading this week. I mean, I'm almost done with Breaking Dawn, so I flew through that, but nothing new for the first time. This is so embarrassing. So yes, I'm going to list all of the things that I read from my classmates. One was a Philadelphia 1930s, 1920s murder mystery. One was a 1980s middle grade horror paranormal book, and one was an apocalyptic, I can't say that word, end of the world, apocalyptic.
Is that a couple more keys?
I know how to, like, I know what it looks like. How do you say it?
Apocalyptic?
Apocalyptic?
No.
You know when you read a lot but you don't say things out loud often and you can't pronounce it. Apocalyptic. I really can't say it. Apocalyptic.
Close enough.
Is that right?
I'm not a linguist.
A-P-O. No, apocalyptic. Apocalypse. I can say apocalypse. Sort of. Oh my god. An enemy. Anyway, it was an end of the world tale from a nuclear war fallout, and it focused on a couple that was newly dated. I think I already talked about this in a video. But anyway, it was really good. So that is what I've been reading this week, and they are phenomenal, and I'm excited to see how they finish their stories, if they progress with their stories, and if I see their names on the shelves in a few years, I am totally gonna fangirl and say, hey, I was there when they were writing that. So pay me $50 for me to show you a first draft. Anyway, that's it for this week. I will see you guys. Well, I'm gonna start filming again tomorrow because it's my birthday, and I have to give you an update on my 25 goals I had for 25, and spoiler, I don't think I did much. I did the big ones. I did the important ones. So that's cool. But tune in to see what they are and watch me attempt to do the ones I didn't do. Okay, bye. Zach, what are you reading?
Twilight.
No. Are you?
I didn't start it, but that's the last book I'm gonna read.
What's the book you last read?
Oh, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson.
You heard it from him there first, folks. Zach reads a lot of, like, fantasy, high adventure-y, deathy books. No? Not deathy?
I mean, people die.
Zach,
Yeah.
how excited are you for our marriage?
No, I'm super excited. I was looking at how to change your name today and how to make sure we... What?
What?
What is that?
Don't say a naughty word on my videos. I have to cut that out. Zach said a naughty word. I know, I was saying to Zach, this video is going on far too long. This is a little PS, like if this was a letter, this is like the postscript. I was talking to Zach about the fact that I realized today really for the first time, I'm only gonna be Haley Bascom for like a year and a half. And then Haley Bascom is gonna die. No, I'm just kidding. She'll still be Haley Bascom on YouTube and on my books, but my legal name's gonna change, and that's really weird. And my new name doesn't exist yet. No one has that name, so that's kind of cool. But it's like, she's a blank slate. I could do anything, and I don't know what I can do, but doesn't exist, so new person. Okay, this is getting weird, so that means it's time to go. Okay, bye. Say goodbye to the skull. I don't know if you can see it. There he is, being all creepy.